Reminiscing's a mission this day and age. Kellie and Telma, and we're turning the page. We're talking family matters, it's about those times. Telling what happened, reading between the lines. We're bringing the cast and crew, and you and your family too. 'Cause all we need is Kellie and me, talking about the stories of our family. Drop on by, we're serving up a taste of back in the day. Girls and guys, listen to us, we've got something to say. We'll say hi, there's plenty of room from the sun to the moon. Family matters whether it's midnight or noon. Come on by with Kellie and me. Welcome to the family. Take us out, Kellie.
Welcome to the family, y'all.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, I'm Telma.
And I'm Kellie.
And we both starred in a 90s sitcom you may have heard of, Family Matters.
Yes, we had 9 amazing seasons filled with so much joy and laughter and memories that will last a lifetime.
And they have. You know, this series was one of the only sitcoms at that time centering on a Black family. And it resonated with folks all across the country. In fact, and I'm so proud of this, Family Matters is one of the longest-running sitcoms with a Black cast with an amazing 215 episodes under our belt. Come on now, you know that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I played Aunt Rachel, Harriet Winslow's crazy younger sister. She moved in with the Winslows with her infant son, Richie, after her husband, Robert, died.
And I played the witty, smart, sassy, and fabulous Laura Winslow, who was the middle child of the family.
Oh, yeah, you were something else. You know, most of the cast members have stayed in touch over the years, but Kellie and I talk all the time.
Yes.
And we were thinking that it might be fun to get together and look back on our time filming the show. I mean, it took some prodding, but we're getting it done, and I'm so glad because as far as I'm concerned, the show did more for me than I could have ever imagined. I mean, I raised half of America.
And me.
And you.
Right. And as a kid actor, the experience of being on a real set with legends like yourself was unimaginable.
Well, the legend was Rosetta Lenoir. Mother Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about the start of it all, working with you guys, you were so talented. Everybody came with credits with Reggie and with Joe Marie. And then with our producers, Bob Boyette and Tom Miller, it just felt like it was going to be something special.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I was just excited to be in the building. Okay? But I couldn't have imagined that the show would have taken on such a life, been so impactful to our fans and to one another.
Yeah, to us. Yes, absolutely. You know, in thinking about it, we thought it would be fun to share our experiences and some of our stories with the lifelong fans of the show through a rewatch podcast.
Yes.
So, we want to welcome you all to our family, which, of course, you're already a part of.
Yes. Now, on each episode, we'll recount our favorite behind-the-scenes stories and share personal reflections about making the show. We'll bring in the cast and other special guests to join in on the fun, too. So, let's get it started.
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. And welcome to the family.
Since this is our debut episode of our podcast, we figured we'd start with the beginning with the series pilot entitled The Mama Who Came to Dinner.
Now, in addition to introducing you guys to the Winslows, this episode has something for everybody.
Yes.
But before we start all of that, let's take a step back and talk a little bit about how we all ended up on the show.
Now, that's a story in itself.
Well, Telma, you're quite accomplished, so you probably should go first.
Yeah, okay. But I didn't start when I was 12. You know, nobody hired me for anything back in that day.
Right.
I started out with Tony Orlando and Dawn way back in the day as a singer. I grew up in Detroit, so I worked at Motown as a kid. I got to sing with the Four Tops and people like that. I worked with Isaac Hayes for years for Hot Buttered Soul. I was a substitute singer, but I managed to work all the time because somebody was either sick or pregnant all the time.
And from there, I met Tony Orlando. That's when that started. And 3 years later, we got the show after Tie a Yellow Ribbon, which became like a national anthem. And we did 3.5 years on CBS, went on tour, and I did, bosom buddies with Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari. I did a show called A New Kind of Family with Eileen Brennan, which was the show that I met Bob and Tom on, who produced our show. And when they decided to do Family Matters, they hadn't even sold it, and they called me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it.
My journey to Family Matters was, I was a really shy kid, so my family put me into theater as a kid to kind of bring me out before I started school. And I enjoyed it so much that I began doing local plays in the Washington, D.C. area. So I was doing all kind of stuff, Greek tragedies, the Bacchae, and then I did Joe Turner's Come and Gone with the Broadway cast. And while I was doing that show, I got a call from my local manager that they were looking for a girl for a show in Los Angeles. So I went and I did a home video in my basement, my parents' basement, and they sent it to California. I'm sure it's horrible, but I hope they destroyed that tape. But then I had an audition in New York, and I came to California and I met the cast, and here we are. I remember when I first got the show and I first arrived in Los Angeles, I mean, I just was like, this is the most surreal thing. I mean, because until then, I pretty much just done like movie of the weeks and like commercials, but mostly theater. So, I mean, I was so nervous when I showed up on set because, I mean, it was like the Sony lot. What was it before? Tell me, it was the Lorimar.
When we first started, Lorimar,
Yes,
yeah.
Lorimar. So, I mean, the whole experience was so new to me. I just remember that. I had no sense of what to expect. Nothing really prepared me to be on like a major studio lot. It was like so overwhelming. All of the adults and Darius had done a lot of other things before. So I just was so nervous. I didn't want to screw up.
Couldn't tell it. You may have been trembling inside, but when that light came on, you did your thing, Miss Bossy.
So
You were so funny. You were such a little bossy thing in that pilot. And I put in my notes when I was watching it that you had a thug moment with little,
oh no.
who's that girl, Judy?
Right.
Right. But you had a moment where, well, let's take it outside. I was like,
well, no, that's
she's
what
a thug.
because they told me that I should be like a kind of a mirror of Jo Marie. Like it should be a mini.
A junior thug, yes.
A mini Jo Marie. So I've wanted to give it a little spice, a little something.
Well, let's talk about, did you remember that Judy was another Judy on the pilot? I was so thrown. I was like, who is that? I mean, I recognized her face, but for some reason, I thought she had just been a guest on the show. I don't know what I thought, but I certainly didn't know she was Judy.
This is one of the things that I'm embarrassed to say. I didn't remember until I watched the episode.
I didn't. I was like, who's that?
Right.
I really did. Because
then I was like, oh my goodness, child, we lose children. I mean, going upstairs, that second floor is like
don't
the
go
Bermuda
upstairs.
Triangle.
Go in and at your own risk.
Don't look into the light, Marianne. Child, you out of here.
Yeah, I was truly shocked. It seemed like every actor on the show had a unique path to getting there. You know, one of my all-time favorites was Rosetta Lenoir, who played the Winslow family's matriarch, Estelle. Her career was not only legendary, but she's one of the actors who opened the door for people like me to walk through.
Absolutely.
She was amazing. I mean, there were so many things that just made me giggle. I was so tickled. But what was one of your favorite moments on the show when you were watching it?
Finding out that
back?
Rosetta knew Bill Bojangles Robinson.
That was her goddaddy, her godfather.
That's like unbelievable. I used to do this. I was a part of this theater group at Howard University called the Howard University Children's Theater. And we did plays about different African-American figures. And he was one of the people that was in the play. And I was like, that she actually knew him, that he was her godfather. It was like unbelievable, the amount of history that she held with her.
She babysat James Earl Jones. I mean,
She what?
she was in it. She was in
She
it. Yeah.
babysat James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Mm-hmm. And,
Dang.
and then there was her Amas Theater that she started
Yes.
in her latter years. But yeah, she was an icon, you know. She didn't get the recognition that she should have gotten in her time, but she was an icon for sure. And I had the pleasure of working with her on Give Me a Break, so I already had that kind of familial feel with her and was just so happy that she got a chance to do our show because she was treated like the queen she was. And she opened the doors for us.
Tell them how they made you, like, kind of get her to do it.
Well, it was my idea, actually, because when I went in to meet with Bob and Tom, they were still looking for the mom. And when they told me that, I said, oh, I know the perfect person, you know, and I told them about Rosetta and how she had played Nell's mom on Give Me a Break. And so they were like, she's great. They loved it. They said, you know, I gave them her number, call her, you know, and they called her and she turned them down.
She did.
She turned him down because she had had a tough time on Give Me a Break. It was not the most fun she'd ever had. And she really was feeling like she didn't want to put herself in that position at that age again. And so they called me, and then I called her, and I told her that I would never bring her into a situation that I didn't know was going to honor her. And I said, just trust me this one time. You're going to get the kind of treatment on this show that you should get everywhere you go.
And you knew that because you had done stuff with them before, right?
I had done bosom buddies with them before. So she trusted me. And she said yes. And they treated her, like I said, the way she should have been treated on everything she did. They just took care of her. She had a driver. She had her place. She had an assistant. I mean, they just spoiled her. And it was really just wonderful to see.
Did you ever talk to her about how she felt after accepting the role? She
loved it.
Oh, she did?
She was so happy that she had done it. And she thanked me for it, but she was really happy working on Family Matters. And it was, I think, the kind of project that she could really sink her teeth into because she was all about family.
Right. There were so many fun things I remember about being on set.
Yeah.
This pilot episode was America being introduced to the Winslows and witnessing a Black, modern, multi-generational household in action.
That's right. And in this episode, Carl's mother, Estelle, is moving in, and he is pretty nervous about how this might impact the dynamics of the family. Not the family, him, because he knows she's going to put him on a diet.
Okay. And as you see, she's quite feisty when she shows up in Chicago. So we're assuming that she had cut up every other city she had been to with all the other kids.
None of her other 4 sons wanted her.
So she walked up in Chicago with Carl and Harriet. Yeah, and we also get to meet Telma's character, Aunt Rachel, who is a young widow and a single mom. So you have a strong-willed grandmother, a wife that's just as stubborn, and a sister who has her own situationship all in one household.
You know, seeing the dynamics between the mom, Harriet, played by Jo Marie, and Rosetta's character, Estelle, showed how Black women have always had a core role in the family. You know, the writers were able to write these characters in a way that made them seem like our mother, grandmother, aunties, just like in real life.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget those adorable babies.
Yeah, they were adorable till they got teeth and bit me.
What?
Yes. There were twins that played the role initially. And I was just so enthralled with the fact that I got to play a young mom and I had these juicy babies to play with, and then I could give them back to their mother and send them home and to collect the check and just keep moving. But I really enjoyed that. I think one of my most spectacular memories, just before we did the pilot, we did the table read. And at the time that we did the table read, I was in Lake Tahoe doing a show with Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. And so in order to get to L.A., I had to like drive to Reno and then get a little plane to get on to get to L.A. And it's quite a tedious journey. And when Bob found out, they sent a Learjet for me all by myself. One whole jet, 2 pilots, picked me up in Lake Tahoe. I was just like, this cannot be happening. Flew me to L.A. They said, we'll be here on the tarmac till you finish. I was just like, well, okay. Got in the limo, did the table read, hopped back in the car, went back and did a show that night. That was, to me, I said, now I'm a star. This is it. I'm at the pinnacle. I got a Learjet. I love that.
And I think for
I love
me,
that.
it's, I was just excited to get the pilot. So when I got there, I was this theater actor. I thought I was, doing something. Then I got there and I was like, oh, oh God, I'm going to ruin everything. Looking like a newbie. So I just had to like get myself together. And but everybody was just so warm and fuzzy. So I had a ball.
I think, too, the fact that it was with the people that were producing him, and they were, tried and true. So we kind of knew that once we got on the air, it was going. It was that kind of feeling like the anticipation and the excitement and the new relationships and me with the babies and the kids. I was all excited about that. It was just a wonderful feeling. And then to become part of that whole TGIF, thank God it's Friday, that whole lineup, it was just amazing. Not to mention that not many people know this, but we had one of the best theme songs ever initially. It was What a Wonderful World. It was fabulous. And I remember a TV Guide article said it was the best theme song on TV that season. And it lasted for the pilot. When it came back, it's a rare condition, just an age. We went right back to that.
We were really experiencing a lot of the things that were happening on the show. Specifically the pilot. Like, I was just shocked. It usually takes you a long time to create that kind of rhythm, kind of a dance that you have, like with a good dance partner. But for some reason, with us, it was just very natural.
It was. They always use the word authentic, but it was. There was no having to figure out how to be family.
And it wasn't cliche either. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times when you see sitcoms like that, it's like really cliche because you don't have a real connection with the people.
We had that.
Immediately.
Well, I think Bob and Tom knew what they could utilize our talents for and looked for episodes like the choir episodes. Remember those, Kelly? But I think they looked for things that showed that talent and allowed us. And we were all, basically everybody in there was a performer. So it wasn't like we were doing something we wouldn't have done if we were all gathered at my house or when we were at Reggie's house or if we were at it was the sort of thing that was just natural for us. And music is such a great just integrator. I mean, songs just bring people together and we already loved each other and we're creating this relationship. So things like that, we were finding out what we could do together because we didn't always know.
I think this is the thing that people don't get with the way that television is done now, because you don't ever get a chance to really find out what the performers can do. So you don't get to usually explore those kinds of things because it's so quick that you don't get to develop a character and to really let it marinate and really just let it breathe a little bit. I think through the years and just with each other, we've found so many great things that just came organically because we got to spend the time. The writers got to know us and we got to know each other so that you can do a scene and do a Lucy and Ethel scene because I know that I can go there with you.
Right.
It may seem completely foreign to somebody else who's not familiar with your rhythm, but I know that I can jump over the couch and be nuts or cry or sing a song or whatever. But it takes time to develop those voices. And most times you don't get a chance to do that because it's so quick and dirty.
Yeah. And also I think we were allowed even the time to be vulnerable. Because you find so many things when you feel safe with a performer. We felt safe with each other. So we could take chances. We could fall on our face and be okay with it because we knew we had backup. And we developed that very early on. I don't know how or why or what, but the personalities, the things that we enjoyed, our relationships. But even between like Kelly's mom and I hung out, Darius's mom and I hung out. We had relationships that went beyond the people that were on the stage.
The connection of the characters in real life was the thing that I think I was most shocked about. Because usually you go there, you do your job. But the connection that I had with the cast members was so natural. It made the work so much easier. People never knew we were working by after the 4th or 5th season, we were working 20-hour weeks. We knew what to do, how to do it, where you're supposed to stay and get here. If you're taking too much time, honey, you had to go. We trying to get this done. You know what I'm saying? We developed a rhythm. It worked like a machine.
Yeah.
It's just like a good dance partner. You know the rhythm. You know how to move when they move. We got it. And we just did it. We know what we were doing with each other because I could trust the director. I could trust the other actors.
Right. And remember when we actually got it down to a 4-day week where we filmed Tuesday through Friday? I think we were doing some show and they said, well, if you can do it, if you can get it done in 4 days, you can have the extra day. We got it done in 4 days. So we got Mondays off after that.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
You've never been one to settle. Stand down or stand still. You're a lifelong learner, energized by excellence. There's a fire inside you can't ignore. You've got competition to outrun, momentum to build on, and your own high standards to meet. Stop now? Not a chance. At Capella University, we help you catch what you're chasing because you've always had the drive. Now, go earn the degree. Capella University. What can't you do? Visit capella.edu to learn more.
You already take magnesium. Smart move. But here's the thing. Not all Mag-Gly is created equal. Solaray's magnesium glycinate is fully chelated, never blended or buffered. That means it's actually designed for optimal absorption and gentle digestion. If you're ready to upgrade your muscle, bone, and relaxation support, choose a quality Mag-Gly that's perfectly chelated for ultimate absorption. Shop Solaray Magnesium Glycinate on Amazon or solaray.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you a fraud-paying American? It's a fact that 1 in 4 honest, hard-working, tax-paying Americans has been a victim of identity theft. With LifeLock Identity Theft Protection, though, if your identity is stolen, they fix it, guaranteed, and get you your money back. Last year, the IRS flagged over $16 billion in refunds for identity fraud. That's billions of dollars that could come from your salary, overtime, or second job. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats you could easily miss on your own. And if your information does fall into the wrong hands, only LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists who are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Visit LifeLock.com/iHeart and save up to 40% your first year. That's 40% off at LifeLock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.
When I reflect on the show, I'm in awe of how impactful the show was. This family had characters that everybody could relate to.
And it really has stood the test of time because it is a slice of life and it is relatable. And how many kids are back home again? How many generations are once again living under the same roof?
Yep. So true. Because, the show was ahead of its time. So the writers and producers made a big effort to represent a Black family in ways that television hadn't shown before.
Exactly. I think it set up the foundation, first of all, for the show because it showed these 3 generations who were living together and the hierarchy that was in that family. And then when you add to it a 4th generation, a grandmother, a matriarch who is used to running things, and how that affects the family dynamic and how we deal with it and resolve it.
I love seeing the hierarchy of the family because I noticed that my children do that with me now. Like, for some reason, my children can sense when there's a person that's more adult than me. And so they begin to play on the fact that I'm actually constricted by my role within the hierarchy. Like, when my kids see my mother and they want something, they appeal to my mother because they know that I can only go so far with the no. their request is ultimately determined by my mother when she's around because she has the say-so over me.
Yeah.
I thought that was so great in the show. I mean, again, it's just one of the things that I really loved when I saw Eddie, who lets their kid go out, 15-year-old in Chicago till 2 o'clock in the morning? Nobody letting their kid go out that late until grandmother comes and says, so what you going to do with me? You could tell him no, you ain't going to tell me no. Now you go out and do what you want to do. And there's nothing you could do.
I also loved just the way that whole thing came together because she did, and Rosetta had such a sly way that she had that little sly side look she'd give when you knew she was up to something. Because even at the dinner table when they were talking about the party and she said, all that drinking and girls and all that, she puts Carl into the position of correcting himself almost because he has to, well, no, there's not going to be any drinking. Well, no, there's no girl. No, well, no, their parents are there. So they take everything that he had said was law and toss it out the window with a look.
Right.
And talking him into contradicting himself.
Right.
But what I also loved was when Carl got up the nerve after, of course, Harriet made him go to, I love that scene where, it's your mother. Harriet, you need to go talk to her. It's your mother. Is that all you got? That's all I need. And she sent him off. But I loved how when he came in to talk to his mother, it was no longer that child mother. I mean, he really came to her as a father, understanding her role, understanding why she was the way she was, because she has had to fight that battle for all her kids. But I loved how he brought the truth to her in such a strong way, but very kind, the reminding her. And I loved that immediately she got it.
Pivot.
She acknowledged it. Mm-hmm. She apologized for that. Mm-hmm. But when he wanted her to apologize for telling Eddie that his curfew was too early or whatever, and she said, I wasn't wrong about that. I mean, she didn't change who she was. Mm-hmm. She still let him know, okay, I'll do things your way as your advisor, but I'm not apologizing for that because I wasn't wrong about that. I love that.
But you know what I didn't notice? Mother Winslow and Harriet were similar.
That's right.
I didn't notice it because they began to butt heads in later episodes. Mm-hmm. But he married his mom. They were basically the same person.
That's what was so funny.
And here, Laura, the character, is the next generation being the same person.
But even Judy's character was sassy and had Harriet tendencies.
Correct.
It was really funny.
But how feisty she was, and then you see the mother. I mean, they were just battling it out. I was like, oh, wow, I never knew that was a thing until I saw that.
The scene where Rosetta's constantly, we're going to have to eat. My stomach. I mean, and Harriet was still in the mode where, no, this is my mother-in-law. I really,
right.
We're going to love having her here. And she says, well, dinner's almost ready. You like meatloaf? And then it begins again. I don't know, man. I don't like meatloaf. Maybe yours is different. And she said, does it have meat in it? And Harriet said, yes. Other than that, we would call it loaf. And then she turned, and the look on her face, oh my God, was so real. She was just like,
right.
And that set up that whole thing to continue because they were together, they were butting heads. They were together, they were butting heads.
Right.
But it was really fun to watch.
Right.
And I've just got to say, Mr. Reggie Johnson.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That boy is
acting his face off.
Master of facial expressions, attitudes. I just enjoyed him so much on this episode. He has some looks. He does some stuff with his face. Just priceless.
Yeah.
Just priceless. And my favorite out of all of that was when we sat at the dinner table after Mother Winslow had come in and taken his chair again, the head of the table. When Harriet says, do you want to say the prayer? And he goes, let us pray. Oh, Lord.
Right.
Protect us from evil.
But again, I mean, there's so many nods to how I grew up. At my father's house, he has a chair. My husband comes and sits at my father's chair. Hey, Slim, I love you.
You got to go.
You got to get up. It's his chair. I love the fact that that's there because it's a real thing. Yeah, I think we just wanted to really give a full picture of what maybe Black life is, where everything's not perfect and there's not like a bow on every episode, which, I mean, it kind of wound up being that way, but how people struggle, but they depend on each other to survive. And so with the moving in of the grandmother, I think it was just a way to kind of introduce the family to people in a way that they could understand how much it mirrored their own family in real life.
Really? I mean, I was raised by my grandmother, so that was really special to me to have a grandmother in the home. That's how I grew up, was with my grandmother.
Yes.
So that character just gave such a richness to the family, to me, because of that.
Because, I mean, everybody, no matter who you are, you kind of get that we represented every family.
Yeah, we really did.
That part I love, too. I love the fact that people connected with the show so much that they actually felt like they knew you in their real life, like you were a character in their real life. When they see you, they automatically want to hug you like you're walking into their front door. When you're at the grocery store, it's like they're a cousin of yours.
Yeah, I had to get used to people feeling like I was their family, even though, I was on a show called Family Matters. It took me a minute. People would call me Aunt Rachel. I wouldn't know what they were talking about. I'd be looking around to see who Aunt Rachel was. And if they called me Telma, I was almost taken aback. Like, I don't know you. Why are you calling me by my name? And they, I love you on Family Matters. Oh, yes, I am her. It took me a minute to get used to it on that level, even though I've been on hit shows before. It was just a different kind of vibe. And I think certain shows that I had been on, like Bosom Buddies, was more of an adult type show. This show just had such a huge range because it was little kids to old people. So you never knew who was going to stop you. I found that a little unnerving. It took me a minute to get used to it, but I did love it.
I think that let me know that we were doing it right, that we were actually living in a way where people could feel something. As an actor, that's the goal. You want to make it so that people feel what you are doing. I mean, you want it to be a literal feeling. Like when you watch a show and you start crying, it's because you're having a real reaction to what's going on, as if you're inside the fourth wall and you're one of the characters in the show. So that's one of the things that I loved about the show, and it happened almost immediately. People felt like they were extended family members from the pilot even.
People were telling me stories about how their kid would have a meltdown if they had to take a bath when Family Matters was coming on. So they had to rig up a TV in the bathroom to get the kid to take a bath so he could get in bed right after the show for school the next day. But he said if he couldn't see the show, they would have no peace. And I had got stories like that all around. TGIF was real. So that became family time for a lot of people, a gathering time that was missing in a lot of families. They didn't have a reason to be together at 8 o'clock. Yes?
What would you have done if I told you I wasn't going to take a bath if I didn't see a particular TV show? What would you have done to me? I just want to know.
I can't say it on mic, but believe you'd have taken the bath one way or the other. And I called your mama and told her what I did to make sure that when you got home, she did the same thing. So we were on the same page.
Look, y'all hearing her from her own voice, and she don't act like she cared that she was over there cutting up.
Don't care at all.
My parents considered Telma a third parent.
And I consider
Telma
myself.
Telma kind of took me in. She would bring me to her house every weekend.
Yep.
A third parent.
I was a third parent.
And I mean that in the most serious way. You were.
And I think for me, the extension of the show, especially because I got to have those little chubby babies on the show, but one of the things that I've always said was what I did best was being a mom. If I compare, I love my career, but I think my best work is my son. So it was for me, I'm kind of a nurturer, although if you had asked me then, I would have said, no, I'm not, because that reminded me of my grandmother. But I really am sort of a gatherer. And I immediately took to the kids. I mean, it was just like an extension of my own child. The kids were just More family, more kids to love. I mean, I only had the one, but I was able to gather up a few more, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
To this day, it's like such a fond time in my life, such a great memory.
Yeah, we really did have some wonderful times.
I hope I was that for you, too.
If you give me a moment. I was about to just brag on you. No, I think, and especially with you, I felt like your mom. I felt like if Pat wasn't there, if your father wasn't around, they didn't have to be. I got you.
Yeah.
You know, and we watched out for all the kids like that.
Right.
You know, we felt as
Too
the
much.
adults. Yeah, probably. But, you know, dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. But we did it because we loved you and we wanted you to have the best of this experience and not all the silliness and craziness that can go along, especially for kids. We were very protective and still am.
Right.
I mean, I'm protective of my relationship with you now.
Mm-hmm. I love you, Telma.
I love you too. I do.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, yeah. We getting all emotional and stuff. We'll be sniffling.
It is always so good chatting with you, Miss Telma.
Thank you, baby.
I feel like I'm learning so many new things just talking with you and reflecting back on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we have got some stories, and it's so good to be working side by side with you again. You know, I've just had to watch you grow as an actress, and now you're a mom and an amazing woman. You are just all that and a bowl of chips.
Oh, you only say it because it's true.
Yeah, okay. And you're so humble. I forgot to add that. But there is so much more when it comes to our experiences creating Family Matters. Next time, we will be discussing one of the show's more serious episodes. Another one that was ahead of its time, but still very relevant today, maybe even more relevant.
Yeah, and we'll get to dive deep into those kinds of episodes, what they did for millions of people, our other family members that were watching.
And us. Well, that's it for this week, but stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to rewatch each episode of Family Matters week by week, so make sure to rewatch the show right along with us. You can catch it on Hulu and TBS and a bunch of other places.
Welcome to the Family with Telma and Kellie is a production of iHeart Podcasts and Audiation. It's hosted by me, Telma Hopkins.
And me, Kellie Williams.
Our executive producers are Sandy Smallins for Audiation, Adam Rip, J.D. Hopkins, who also happens to be my son and Kellie's faux bro, and Jonathan Strickland for iHeart Podcasts.
The show is produced by Telma and I, but our series producer is Ireland Meacham, and our theme song's lyrics were written by J.D. Hopkins and Adam Rip. The theme song was scored and mixed by Matt Noble, who's also our series mixer.
And we'd like to thank Nikki Etour and the entire iHeart Podcast team. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Follow us on Instagram at Welcome to the Family Pod for behind-the-scenes photos and more bonus content.
And don't forget to leave us a voicemail at our website, thefamilymatterspod.com. We want to hear your thoughts and favorite memories of the show, and let us know if you need advice, because we're good for some bad advice. We might be able to help you with your own family matters.
And make sure to rate and review us wherever you're listening. We are so excited to have you guys along for the ride.
Yes, welcome to the family, y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome to the family.
Audiation.
With the Venmo debit card, a taco in one hand and ordering a ride in the other means you're stacking your rewards. Nice. Get up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash on your favorite brands when you pay with your Venmo debit card. From takeout to ride shares, entertainment, and more. Pick a bundle with your go-tos and start earning cash back at those brands. Do more stash, get more cash. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
You know that feeling when a story just grabs you and won't let go? That's the kind of drama that's waiting for you on Disney Plus Hulu. Mysterious post-apocalyptic thrillers like the acclaimed Hulu original, Paradise. Action-adventure dramas like Daredevil Born Again. And iconic medical dramas like Grey's Anatomy. Or maybe you want your drama with a side of comic relief with shows like High Potential. Find the drama you want on Disney Plus and Hulu with a bundle subscription. Terms apply.
Owning a home is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some Not so much. And when something breaks, it can feel like the whole day unravels. That's why HomeServe exists. For as little as $4.99 a month, you'll always have someone to call. A trusted professional ready to help, bringing peace of mind to 4.5 million homeowners nationwide. For plans starting at just $4.99 a month, go to homeserve.com. That's homeserve.com. Not available everywhere. Most plans range between $4.99 to $11.99 a month your first year. Terms apply on covered repairs.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.